traffic, we might have a few latecomers trickling in here at the end. Just to introduce myself, my name is Caitlin Hues. I'm one of the public service specialists here at this branch. So I'm one of the individuals who's responsible for finding and coordinating and putting on programs like this. Luckily, however, for this one, we partnered with the Office of Arts and Culture. So another city department is part of their endeavor to do a Culture of Value month. So throughout all of November, they partner with different artists from Dallas, from photography, dance, music performances, different types of media for painting, things like that. And all of these artists are doing programs throughout the entire month at different libraries, rec centers, and places throughout the whole city. So I encourage you to look into their social media if arts is something that you're passionate about, because they have a lot of things on the book for this whole month, as well as year-round with their CAP artists programs. So tonight we are looking at the history and hues of deep Ellum blues. Liz Mikel is the artist in particular that we are working with, but she comes with company today. So we have Donald Payton, historian, to give us all the ins and outs of everything from this music genre. And then we also have Jake
Quillin.
Yes, our musician here, and he's going to be playing a few things along with it. So thank you all for being here, and without further ado, we'll go ahead and get started.
Well, I want to say welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you all for coming this evening. Thank you, Payton. As she said, my name is Liz Mikel, and I am so proud to bring you this exciting part of Dallas history. Digging down through the records and reading over our rich history here, it's just been enlightening and exciting for me, and to take us on this journey. And it's a wonderful journey. Mr. Donald Payton.
We want to talk a little bit about some true American music. We want to deal with how Dallas and Dallas musicians influence the whole world of music. You know, they talk about New Orleans, and they talk about New York, and Chicago, and Los Angeles. But when you turn back a few pages, you'll find that most of those people had roots right here in Dallas. Dallas is an odd city. It doesn't really make people here, but it's a launching pad. It sends people all over the world with music that came from the Dallas area. So we're going to talk a little bit about Central Tracks, and later becomes Deep Ellum, and the people who came through Deep Ellum. This is what it would have looked like when the railroad came in. It was very essential for cities to get the railroad, because the railroad initially wasn't supposed to come to Dallas. The railroad was supposed to stop at Corsicana and get water and stop again, because it was steam engines. And then again, the railroad was supposed to stop in McKinney. Well, we had a state representative named Lane, and Lane agreed the railroad shouldn't stop in Dallas, but the railroad should stop at Broward Springs and get water from Broward Springs, and nobody checked. But Broward Springs is right where City Hall is now. So the railroad came in July 17, 1872. The Houston, Texas, and Central came in. The following year, the Houston, Texas, and Central went the route of the Central Expressway. It went north and south. Then the following year, the railroad called the Texas and Pacific came. It went east and west. So Dallas ended up being a crossroads for railroads. And railroad was so important because all the industry and everything was moved by railroads. and every city wanted a railroad. So as a result, Dallas became a railroad center, and which brought in all different kinds of people in the 1870s. It brought in the Sonotic Cowboys, brought in a dentist who ended up being pretty famous. He caught the railroad and he suffered with tuberculosis. And he came in and set up a dental office right near where El Centro is on the corner of Ellum and Market, was a doctor named Dr. John S. Holliday. So
Doc Holliday.
Doc Holliday practiced dentistry. My uncle cut his hair. Uncle Albert cut Doc Holliday's hair. His office was, his barbershop was right next to Doc Holliday's office. Then in the 1870s, you had a group of young men who came in here from Missouri, two brothers. One was named Jesse and the other was named Frank. Jesse and Frank James. They were cousins of a man. If you ever go south, you'll see a road called Overton Road. Overton Road, William Perry Overton was Jesse James and Frank James's mother's cousins. So they go off places and carry on with whatever their occupation was. Illegal withdrawals, I'll say. And they would come back to Dallas and hide down in the Trinity River bottom. You see. And the most notorious woman in the history of Western lore lived out in a place called Syene, Texas. Now we call it Mesquite. Her name was Myra Bell Shirley. She was known in Western lore as Belle Star. Yes, Belle Star was here in Dallas. Well, she was in Syene. So all of these people brought in different cultures. My great-great-grandparents cut down the trees to make the cross ties for the Houston, Texas and Central Railroad. We were owned by a man named William Brown Miller. If you ever visit Old City Park, it's a building house down there called Millermore. Yes, well, my great-great-great-granddaddy built Millermore. So we'll talk about how they influenced the American music, and I'm so glad to talk about this because I had a cousin who was the first guy to ever front a band with an electric guitar. His name was T-Bone Walker. And he lived right behind the country club here in the servants' quarters. So this is T-Bone Walker's old neighborhood. Later he became known as Oak Cliff T-Bone.
Oak Cliff.
So we ready?
We're on. We're talking about the
All right.
history.
So here you see
Freedman's time.
So you see downtown Dallas before the automobile. The first automobile brought to Dallas was belonged to a guy named Colonel E.H.R. Green. Colonel Green. His mother was at one time one of the richest women in the world. Her name was Hetty Green. They called her the Witch of Wall Street. Colonel Green had a wooden leg because his mother shopped him around New York looking for the cheapest doctor. And in the process of trying to find the cheapest doctor, gangrene set in his boy's leg and his leg rotted off. She also ate cold food because the Rockefellers were her competition. So she wouldn't buy coal because the coal came from the Rockefellers. And she refused to buy Rockefeller's coal, so she ate cold food. And Colonel Green had the first automobile in there, I think 08. I met a guy who talked about, asked him, says, Colonel Green, says, how did you lose your leg? Said, my leg ain't lost, son, it's at home on my couch. And so if you ever visit Terrell, Texas, you can see Colonel Green's mansion. His car was fixed. He had wheels on his car where he could ride up and down the railroad in his automobile. So this is what Deep Ellum would have looked like when the music first took off. We had a guy who was a street walking musician here in Dallas. He was from a place called Wortham, Texas. His name was, who was it?
I don't know, we were just
there, like day before yesterday.
Where you? That was the home of Blind Bill and
We
Jefferson.
gonna get to him.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Right now, we
So
doing
this is what
the
Deep
industry.
Ellum would have looked like. I was really lucky. I got a chance to grow up down on Deep Ellum. Get a chance to, because my dad, that was his place, and that was my closest friend. So he'd take me with him to these places. We met all kinds of characters. We met one of his dearest friends was called Razor Blade Red, because Razor Blade Red ate razor blades and light bulbs. And he used to tell me, said, son, they had to let me out of jail, because I was eating up all the light bulbs. so they let me out of jail. And it was a strange thing going on. We had black people working in the small Jewish shops. Small Jewish, we had Benny shoes, we had bar shop shoes, and every pair of shoes I ever had, somebody had them before I did. My dad would tell me, said, son, you know, new shoes hurt your feet. Let somebody else break them in, and after they get through with them, then you get them. Made sense to me because Daddy told me. And this was Honest Joe, Uncle Joe's pawn shop. Oh, you could take anything in the Uncle Joe's. You could take your gold teeth. You could take if you had a false eye, Uncle Joe would lend you money on your eye. And it used to be so funny to watch those Jewish merchants work. You have a guy, and he's walking by, and he's got a sack with some new shoes. So he passed the store, and Mr. K would be standing in the door, and he says, "Hey, I see you got some new shoes." He said, "Well, yeah." He said, "You got them from bar shops, huh?" He said, "Yeah, Mr. Bar Shop." He says, "You know his bags are real thin. The bag might tear and your new shoes all out on the ground. Come here, let me give you a real sturdy sack." So he would take bar shop sack and throw it away and put your shoes. And on the way out, he says, "Hey, I just noticed you got new shoes." He says, "You're not gonna put old socks in new shoes." He says, "Well, no problem. I got socks." Says, "You go to church?" Says, "Yeah, every Sunday, Thursday." Says, "You need a new suit over those new shoes." And it all starts, so now the team has got you. You in, and they're circling. One guy's got you in the back, pulling. You wear a suit, a 38, and all you got is a 42. So one guy grabs you in the back and pulls the suit tight in the front, and then he turns you around, and the guy grabs it in the front and says, "It fits you like the paper on the ball." And now you got a brand new suit, and on the way out they give you a little lanyard. Have a little lanyard? Yeah. Somebody from Louisiana back there. Yes. Little lanyard is a pocket handkerchief to go with your suit, or maybe a necktie. Just a little something extra. So I used to love to see those guys work, cause they taught you, save that money. Mr. K used to say, you know, son, he says, I love that cash register. Nobody goes in that cash register but me. My wife, I love my wife. But my wife does not touch that cash register. And you know, it was teaching us economics, how to save money, how to shop, you see. So one of the leading engineers from this area was a guy from Mahia, Texas, called the Mongas. We got a street right down here in a neighborhood named Manga Place. Manga created the cotton gin in 1888. And this is the Cotton Gin Company. It's been turned now into housing. And this is what it looks like now.
Oh,
That's the Cotton Gin Company. This is what it looks like on the inside. Yes. This is the Model T plant. Henry Ford wanted to set up, wanted to have distribution for the Ford cars in this area. It was a family here who repaired carriages and wagons. And a Ford representative came down and talked to this guy. And this guy's name was Vandergriff. Yes. You know, Vandergriff Chevrolet, Vandergriff Volkswagen, well, Henry Ford, this is Henry Ford. The women came to Henry Ford one time and says, Mr. Ford, says, we'd like some nice new cars to match our clothes. And Henry Ford said, you can have any color Ford you want, as long as it's black. You heard that? Yes, that was a Henry Ford quote. And this is the Dallas plant in 1924. And this is the Ellum Hat Company now. That was the old Ford building. They moved out of that and they moved around off of Dolphin. If you ever go out Dolphin Road, it's an old company off of there. That's the old Ford Motor Company. And now it's the Ellum Hat Company. This is the beginning of Deep Ellum because Blind Lemon brought the country blues to the city. And he would walk up and down Deep Ellum, and he was led by T-Bone Walker because they had a group here called the Dallas String Band. And T-Bone's stepfather, Monroe Washington, lived right around the corner in the servants' quarters, right behind the country club over here. So this is what Deep Ellum would have looked like in the 1920s when Lemon walked up and down these streets and collecting, and it was so novel. Yes, what you playing? Go
Come
ahead.
on.
Go ahead.
When you go down to Deep Ellum, keep your money close to you. The Deep Ellum women gonna try to take that too.
Oh, sweet mama, daddy's got them deep
gone down to deep Ellum. Feel like it all moving loose. The boys down in deep Ellum gonna try to take something from you.
Oh, sweet mama, daddy got them deep Ellum blues. Oh, sweet mama, daddy got them deep Ellum blues. Woo!
So, this is where Lemon plied his trade. This was the old Houston, Texas and Central Railroad Depot. Everything centered around the train stations. That's where the old music, the old people would, well now they call it busking, where they would sing and play for pocket money. And it was a story about how Blind Lemon could feel a bill and tell what denomination it was. You see, because bills weren't as common now, because back then it was a lot of coins, you know, silver dollars and half dollars. Well, can anybody tell me why you think he was able to tell the difference between a $1 bill and a $20 bill?
How it was used?
Yes. A $1 bill had been circulated more than a $20 bill. So it had a different texture. Each bill had been circulated more than another bill, and he was able to feel a bill and tell. He was known for giving change back. Yes, Lemon was. You might need this more than I do. And this was the Harlem Theater. This was my first theater. Oh man, this theater was horrible. The plumbing didn't work. And you could smell it 6 blocks away.
Oh.
And I would go in there and I said, Pop, I said, smell funny in here. He says, damn that boy, just look at the movie. No, you don't have to smell it, just look at the movie. Just inhale it, you get used to it. Yes, sir.
Was this on Elm Street as well?
Yes, yeah, that was the Harlem. That was our downtown theater. See, our dress-up theater was the Majestic. We could go to the Majestic, but we used to have to sit in what they call a crow's nest, up in the balcony. That was the only majority white theater that we could go to. That was our dress-up theater. And this is that preacher who came down on Deep Ellum, could preach the Bible through and through. He met a Deep Ellum girl, and that is
Preaching days are through.
Yes. And that's Madam Pratt. Madam Pratt was a prodigy. If it made music, she could play it. She taught all other musicians who came out of Dallas, if they needed a rehearsal hall or they needed a place to record, they would go to Madam Pratt. Yes, Madam Pratt was a genius. She played everything. And this is Gypsy Tea Room. Yes, this is, now I think we got Gypsy Tea Room .4 or something like that. But yeah, this lady, this is Fran Thane. She was a very dear friend, and
I knew her as well.
yes, she used to tell me this story. You see, she's the only woman in the band. Yeah, that's on piano. And she was telling me this story one time. She says they were all they finished the gig and they were all on the bank on the bus. And the guy gets up on the bus and says, well, fellas, they didn't sell as many tickets tonight as they were supposed to. Says, look like the money's gonna be a little short and somebody's gonna have to take the bite. Says, Franny, since you're the only woman on the bus, it looks like you are gonna be the one that's gonna gonna have to take the bite. So Fran was telling me, said she went in her purse and pulled up this big shiny 38 pistol. And she said, you might not pay me, but you gonna pay this goddamn pistol. And they said, oh, Fran, girl, you can't take a joke. Oh, she was tough. She was Billie Holiday's girlfriend. Yeah, and this was Mr. Ashford. R.T. Ashford owned and operated the first black-owned record store. So all of they used to have record companies, used to have scouts who went to different cities and placed their products in these record stores, and they would introduce them to whatever local talent it was. So this was R.T. Ashford. He introduced a man named Ink Williams. Ink Williams worked for Paramount and for Paramount Records, and he came in and Ashford told him about Lemon, and he took Lemon up to Chicago to record. Lemon is the first official recorded blues singer. He was the most popular blues singer in the world. I love this photo. Do y'all notice anything odd about that photo?
The guitar strap?
Yeah, something else. Something else. Look at that photo. What do you notice about it?
He's wearing glasses.
Wearing glasses, something else.
The guitar is flat as opposed to up against his body.
Yeah, something else.
It's beautifully signed.
It's signed. Yeah. A blind man signs that says, cordially yours, Lion Lemon Jefferson. Go ahead.
And I'ma act like a preacher, babe, and ride town to town.
in music, a guy named Carl Perkins recorded Matchbox Blues, and a guy named Ringo Starr recorded Matchbox Blues. They influenced this guy. This is Robert Johnson. Robert Johnson recorded down Park Avenue, right down near, right off of Ellum Street, off of Commerce down there. Some mystery about Robert Johnson. Robert Johnson is supposed to have met the devil at the crossroads, and the devil taught him some blues licks, and he died very mysteriously. He was supposed to have been poisoned by a woman, and just so many things. You know how legends go. This is Leadbelly. Yes.
Yeah, no, I'll get you one.
Leadbelly came from Louisiana. He lived down in a place called, for some years, in a place called DeKalb, Texas. And in East Texas, Leadbelly is the only man who sang his way out of prison twice. Yes. The governor came to visit the prison, and Leadbelly sang a song called "If I Had the Governor Where the Governor Had Me." In the morning, I set the governor free. And he got discovered by the Lomaxes. Yeah, the Lomaxes traveled all over America, going into work fields, going into prisons, going into churches, recording black music. Leadbelly was a contemporary of Lemon. The Lomaxes took Leadbelly to Europe, and a young man in Europe heard Leadbelly and recorded it and copied Leadbelly's songs. And he influenced a group of young men that were called the Quarrymen. Yes, anybody ever heard of Quarrymen? Yeah. They changed their names to become what?
The Beatles.
The Beatles.
Oh my God.
Yes, the Beatles' first songs that they copied were Leadbelly's songs. See, so if it wouldn't have been for Blind Lemon, it wouldn't be rock and roll.
There we go.
You see?
Good night, Irene. You gonna sing it with me?
Irene, good night. Irene, good night.
Y'all sing it. Y'all sound like y'all gonna sing it.
Good night, Irene. Good night, Irene. I see you in my dreams. Sometimes I leave the country. Sometimes I leave this town. Sometimes I have a great notion to jump in the river and drown. Irene, good night.
Yeah.
Irene, good night. Good night, Irene. Good night, Irene. I'll see you in my dreams. Stop rambling, gambling, quit staying out late at night. Go home to your family, sit down by the fire bright. Irene, good night.
I'll see you in my dreams.
Y'all give yourself a hand.
Beautiful.
That's Led Belly went to Europe, and all of these guys saw and heard Lead Belly. The Birds, some guys that's still around, called the Rolling Stones. All of them copied Lead Belly. Lead Belly was influenced by
Blind Lemon.
Blind Lemon. Blind Lemon influenced T-Bone. T-Bone influenced all of the rest of the pickers up to a young guy in Oak Cliff named Stevie Ray Vaughan. All of them. This is Sherman Dudley. Sherman Dudley started on Deep Ellum singing a song called These Old Bones Gonna Rise Again. He left Dallas and moved to Washington, D.C. And he started a chain of theaters, the Howard Theater in Washington, the Regal Theater in Chicago. And if he went into a town and they wouldn't let his acts play this town, he would build him a theater in that town. And he set up a thing called the Theater Owners Booking Association. And he discovered people like Ethel Waters,
Bessie Smith,
Ma Rainey, another comedy team called Butterbeans and Susie. He did a song called I Want a Hot Dog in My Buns. And so, yeah, that was a big hit. His hit.
Wasn't that the start of the Chitlin circuit?
Yes, that's what they call the Chitlin circuit. Now his big hit was Food is Scarce. So if you want to visit, come out to breakfast, bring your own lunch, and leave before supper time. Yes, Sherman Douglas was a friend of this guy and this woman. This is Ella D. Moore and Chance Moore. They were part of the Chitlin circuit. If any of y'all ever saw a TV program called Sanford and Son, all of those people that were on Sanford and Son came off of the Chitlin circuit. That was all
They
of
were comedians from the
all those were comedians and dancers, and all of them were Red Fox's friends off of
LaWanda Page.
Y'all remember Aunt
Slappy
Esther?
White.
Aunt Esther on Sanford and Son? She was a fire eater. She's a professional fire eater.
What?
Yes. Yes.
Now I heard her comedy, so.
Fiery.
So they were organizers of the Chitlin circuit. And the Chitlin circuit was started by a young black guy from Dallas named Sherman H. Dudley. He was the most popular black entertainer in the world. And a white guy named Rouse took his name, took his act, and they said, well, did you take Sherman H. Dudley's name? He says, I never heard of it. See, now he could be president. Yeah. This is Lillian Glenn. She was recorded here. And this is Bessie Smith, known as the Queen of the Blues. She was a queen on the Chitlin circuit. And that's T-Bone. If y'all ever heard of a young man named Jimi Hendrix, all Jimi Hendrix was doing was stuff that T-Bone had been doing for 50 years. The only thing that Hendrix did was set his guitar on fire. But all other things, picking that guitar behind his back and with his teeth and between his legs, T-Bone did that years ago, you know. Hendrix was new to them, but he wasn't new to me. You know, but,
And here we go.
You gonna sing one?
Yeah,
Yes.
I'll do it.
go ahead, sing, man.
I can sing some blues, can I? Is that all right? Oh, they call it Stormy Monday. Yeah. Tuesday's just as bad. Lord, 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 say they call it Stormy Monday. Tuesday's just as bad. Well, play the song. Well, Wednesday is worse. Oh, but Thursday, y'all, it's oh so sad. Said the eagle flies on Friday. Saturday I get dressed up and I go out to play. Hey, the eagle flies on Friday. I got some money in my hands. But Saturday I'm gonna dress up and go out to play. Oh, but early Sunday morning I fall down on my knees and I pray. I say, Lord, 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 have mercy on me. I said, Lord, 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 have mercy on me, yeah. You know my baby, he done left me in heartache and misery. Stormy Monday. It's stormy Monday. Oh, stormy Monday, y'all. Stormy Monday, yeah. Oh, but early Sunday morning, y'all, I thank God when I pray.
Let's keep on walking. His great granddaughter is the mayor of New Orleans. Yeah, down there. That's Mr. Collins, Herbert Collins. He was a local guy. He ended up going to New York, and he was Billie Holiday's drummer. And that's Lightning. Lightning is from down near Houston, outside of Buffalo, Texas, down there. And all of those guys spent time coming through Dallas. A guy named Eddie Durham, if you ever heard of Eddie Durham, he invented the electric guitar. Yes, he was from San Marcos, Texas. And this guy, that was my mentor, that was Alex Moore. Alex was born November 22nd, 1899. I says, Alex, you're the first guy I ever met in my life, born in the 1800s. He says, damn right. And I know Deep Ellum. I knew every rat and every rat hole on Deep Ellum. And this guy could start playing the piano on Friday evening and play all the way till Monday morning, non-stop. That was Alex Moore, called him Papa Chitlins. And this lady She played Dallas. Yep. It's Mary Pickford.
And there
And
was
this is what theater wrote
in the 40s.
in the 40s would have looked like. And this building is still there. That's the Wilson building. At one time, it used to be the H.L. Green store. Yeah, that's, and this is, some of the acts that came through. I was telling you, they were all part of the TOBA, the Theater Owners Bookers Association. They had the largest colored theater in the South. And that's, some of the beer they sold here. So all these new breweries that they putting up, they ain't doing nothing new. Yeah, and this is, that the Payton building?
No, that's them with the Budweiser. They had come through with the kegs of
You know, it's a
Budweiser.
strange story about the Budweiser company. A guy came into town one time, came to visit Dallas, and they were showing him around. And he saw a building there, and he says, "What's that building?" And they say, "That's the brand new city hall." He says, "How much y'all want for it?" They say, "That's the city hall." She said, yeah. How much you want for it? And they gave him a price. And he bought the Dallas City Hall. They bulldozed it down and put up a hotel named after him. The guy's name was Adolphus
I knew you were gonna
Bush.
say it.
And the hotel is the Adolphus Hotel. So he bought the Dallas City Hall, and they moved it some blocks up and built the new one that's there on the corner of Harwood. But Adolphus Bush bought the Dallas City Hall and built the Adolphus Hotel. Anybody know that building? That's Bella. That's Bella. See, where Bella is, there used to be a separate city. That used to be called East Dallas, Texas. That wasn't Dallas. That was, that's the Baptist. And this was the Del Monaco, where all of the people used to would stay when the artists came to town. See, we couldn't stay in the white hotels. So we lived with people. They put a book out some years ago called a Green Book, where they told you where you could stay and where you could eat, you see. And so, because a lot of these towns were sundown towns. Y'all know sundown towns. We had to get out of town before the sun went down. And so you'd have to drive, because I know when we would travel, we would make boxes, great big boxes of chicken and cold bologna and mayonnaise and bread, and to travel. Now this family, this was America's first black royal family. This is the family of a man named Booker T. Washington. Booker T. Washington had ties in Dallas. This lady in the middle, that's Portia Washington Pittman. That's Booker T. Washington's baby daughter. She taught music at the Booker T. Washington High School. In 1927, the NEA met here, the White Teachers Association, and they invited the choir from Booker T. Washington High School to come in and sing. She had a 600 voice choir. Every kid in the school was in Miss Pittman's choir. So she brought those kids into the State Fair Music Hall, and it's a wonder that building is still standing. The way them kids rocked it, she had them singing Negro spirituals in German. Yes. So just imagine getting 600 kids to show up on time, sing in harmony, and the NEA was so shocked, they invited them to come back for a second night. That's Portia Washington Pittman. This is her husband, William Sidney Pittman. Sidney was the first black graduate of an engineering school in Philadelphia called Drexel Institute of Technology. He graduated a 5-year program in 3 years. And Sidney was very bitter. Nobody liked Sidney. Sidney was too white to be black, too black to be white. He was married to virtually the black president's daughter. And he got tired of Washington, D.C., and he got tired of Papa Say. Anybody know Papa Say?
Papa say don't do that.
Sidney, Papa Say, if you act a little nicer, maybe you could get some jobs. Sidney, Papa Say this and Papa. So Sidney got the hell out of Washington, D.C. and moved to Dallas. And he built, it's now called the Pittman Hotel, but it's on the corner of Good and Latimer and Elm Street. So if you ever go down to Elm Street on the right-hand side, this is that building. It's the Pythian Temple. That's the tallest building black folks have ever built in Dallas to this day. All of that money went into building this building. I was lucky enough to work when I was a historical commissioner to help save that building, because all of the apartments that were going around, people complained, say that it was in their view of deep Ellum, and they wanted to tear that building down. And I got a chance to work with some commissioners, and we saved that building. That's what it looks like now. That's the Pittman. It's named after William Sidney Pittman. His son, Booker Pittman, is responsible for starting a new music from Brazil called the Bossa Nova. Tall and tan and young and lovely, the girl from Ipanema goes walking. Everybody she passes goes, ooh. Yeah. Well, Sidney's son created the Bossa Nova movement, the national music of Brazil.
That's inside.
And that's the Sons of Herman. It's still standing. Yes. And this is Dr. Benjamin Blewett. He had the first X-ray machine in the Southwest. His building is still standing. That's the Blewett building. And this is the Dallas Tent Awning building. See, all of these buildings that you're going to see here worked off of that railroad. They were shipping off of that railroad. Everybody wanted to be near. Yes, they wanted to be near the railroad so they could get goods and ship out goods. See, the railroad was really important. The railroad created, if anybody's got on blue jeans, you got a little pocket here. That's called a watch pocket. Very good. That's called a watch pocket. It ain't a change pocket, it's a watch pocket. The railroad made wristwatches because at one time people worked by the sun. And when the railroad came in, you had to know what time it was to move your goods. So you had to have a watch on your arm to know what time it was so you could move your goods out on the train. See, when the train came in, people brought in buildings. They brought in little portable buildings that they would set up in each town. They called them storefronts. And they brought in storefronts on the train, and people would set up a storefront and sell their goods. A lot of the buildings, the companies that are in Dallas now, started out as those storefronts. And that's the Dr. Pepper plant. And that's the forwarding building. See, all of these buildings have been redone now, and now they're housing. But all of them came off of that's the LaFrance building. They're on the flour mill here. If you ever drive down the freeway, you see those two big concrete towers. That was a LaFrance's flour, and that's the Mitchell building. and see how they have redone these buildings, because Dallas is a good city, but if you come in with the right amount of money, they'll sell you city hall. And so now you see them tearing down the theater, the Harlem Theater, where the Harlem was, to build Central Expressway. Central Expressway starts at Galveston, and it cuts through the middle of every black neighborhood in America. The Central Expressway does. Interstate 45, you know, all of the highways going north and south are odd numbers. Highways going east and west are even numbers. So they ran 75 through the middle of Galveston, through the middle of Houston, through the middle of Dallas. It cut up Freedmanstown, goes up into Oklahoma, interstate. See, that's how things used to be. We lived on one side of the track, you know, and sometimes you couldn't date girls from where?
The other side of the track.
The other side, that girl is from the other side of the tracks. But from the other side of the track, you're on the other side of the track. So this is the Central Expressway as we know it now. It's a downtown, and it cut Deep Ellum right, cut the heart out of Deep Ellum. So now you can see how it affects. So this is what Deep Ellum looks like. Looks like today. It still has its blues roots. We didn't lose our roots.
There's T-Bone and Jimi Hendrix and Leon Bridges, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, yeah.
That's Ray Charles. Ray Charles' first band was from Dallas. Yes, he lived over on the corner of, well, it's called Malcolm X now, but it used to be called Oakland. And his first band was organized here.
Fathead Newman, wasn't it?
Yes,
Fathead?
David Newman. If you ever see the movie, Ray, David Newman said he didn't like that movie. He said because it made him look like he introduced Ray to drugs. He said Ray was a drug addict from the age of 14. Him and Quincy Jones both. So now you see what Deep Ellum looks like. What Deep Ellum looks like now. And if it wouldn't have been for Deep Ellum and Blind Lemon and Lead Belly, it wouldn't be no rock and roll, because they introduced the blues music to guys like B.B. King, the Beatles. All of them copied music that came right off of Deep Ellum. That's Stevie Ray Vaughan. Yeah, I knew Stevie Ray and his brother Jimmy.
Yeah, the arts festivals that happen down and the block parties. So it's more populated now than it was back in the late 80s and 90s, right?
Oh yeah, it's coming back. It's coming back. So we still have.
I think this was the Dixie Chicks at the block party.
Polyphonic Spur.
Was it Oh, that's who that was. That's who that was.
You know your music.
And this is a group that is near and dear to my heart. This young man in the very center here with the leopard pants on, I first saw him in New York. I was up doing a project and some friends were up from Dallas. They were like, let's go, we've got some people that are playing at a club down here. And I go to the club, and who knew I was gonna know the musicians that were playing? And he got up and he started talking, and he said, when I was young, I was diagnosed paranoid schizophrenic. And I started writing. And so I call it The Cure for Paranoia. And that's his name now, Cure for Paranoia. His name is Cameron. And now that was his audition for the Tiny Desk series that happens. And so if you look, the young man with the glasses in the back and the tall guy that's standing next to him, those are the Grays. Their sisters sitting in front of them, but they're a group they call We Them Grays. And they are just extraordinary people, and they played with me at the Dallas Theater Center, those three young people.
And I grew up with their granddad. I was in a place called Hamilton Park.
And we all know that diva right there. Went to Booker T. Washington High School for the Visual and Performing Arts, like I did. And she still performs in Deep Ellum and comes down. There used to be an open mic at the Prophet Bar on Wednesdays that her music director, RC, used to host, and she would just pop in every now and again and hang out.
And now she's selling out the Hollywood Bowl. Travels all
She
over
sells
the
out
world.
everywhere she goes, and she hadn't
Yeah.
released the album in, what,
And-
20
And
years?
it is so odd that I give bus tours also. If anybody wants a historic bus tour, I mean, man. And she comes from an example of a young black woman who can come from the heart of South Dallas, walk out of her front door and run into the wall of Central Expressway and leave the heart of South Dallas and become an international entertainer. So when people tell you that they can't do it because they've got walls in front of them, this girl was born with a wall in front of her. And she overcame all of that to be, and it's so funny, I talk to people and they says, Erica's in town, we gotta go get new outfits. We gotta go get new stuff, Erica's in town. And Erica shops at the thrift stores.
They don't go see Mr. K.
Yes. So,
And this is the new Deep Ellum, where I host an open mic, and one of this is where I met this gentleman right here, and that gentleman over there, another blues man. I host an open mic on Mondays. I've just found out because of the street construction, we may be having to shift around some things, but Monday nights at the Free Man. We are still keeping the legacy of Deep Ellum alive and the music alive. That's how I met this gentleman right here displayed for you this evening.
and we want to thank everybody for coming out and sharing the history of Deep Ellum.
And especially Mr. Donald Payton.
Yeah, Mr. Payton.
And Jay Quillin on
Yeah.
guitar. You want to do Midnight Special? Just go ahead.
Beyond the common and rosy, how in the world do you know? Well, I know it's not the apron and the dress you wore, and a bell on the shoulder, piece of paper in the hand. Well, I'm going after love now, trying to lose my man at the midnight special.
Shining light on me. Let the midnight special shine his ever loving light on me.
Get up in the morning when that big bell rings. Go and watch it on the table. See the same damn thing I can focus on the table. Ain't nothing in the pan. If you're saying about it, you're having trouble with the man. Let the midnight
Special, shine a light on me. Let the midnight special
shine his ever loving light on me. And get it to the nation and to the territory. All about the girl I love in that Mexico. Let the midnight special shine a light on me. Let the midnight special shine your ever loving light on me. If you ever go to Houston, where you better walk right, where there's not a road, and you better not find Sheriff Rocker gonna bust you. They're gonna take you down. We'll bet your last dollar. The penitentiary is bound. Let the midnight special midnight special. Shine your ever-loving light on me. Well, double little Julie was a fine kind of girl. Julie brought joy to the whole wide world. When she brought it in the morning, just a while before the day. When she brought me the news that my wife was dead, and it got me to breathing, a little hot and a little crying. And I began to worry for a very long time. Let the midnight special shine a light on me. Let the midnight special shine a ever-loving light on me.
Yeah. Thank you to all of you who've come out this evening. Thank you, Caitlin, Dallas Public Library, and to the Dallas Office of Arts and Culture. You have some questions for Mr.
One quick question. Notice there's videos. All the musicians we know would have loved to be here tonight, but they're either working or exhausted.
I
Are
understand.
they gonna get to watch that video?
I don't know. I may post it on YouTube. I may see if I can get permission, but thank you. I may try to do that.
Can I make a little public service
Yeah,
announcement?
please do.
So, this program was brought to you by the Office of Arts and Culture, and this is Culture of Value Month. And there are programs like this all over the city between now and November. You go to the Office of Arts and Culture website. You can Google Culture of Value, and it will give you a schedule. All of the programs are in libraries and
Rec centers.
centers. And the city of Dallas is paying artists to do these programs. You go through an application process, so I urge you, please, go out to the programs, support the artists, tell your council members how much you enjoy having free art, and tell your friends who are artists that they can get paid by applying for Culture of Value and also a program called Arts Activate. And it's all on the City of Dallas Office of Arts and Culture website. So please go see some more. Don't let any of these artists be sitting in a library without a full room of an audience.
And I just have to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for coming out on a Thursday night and taking this journey into Deep Ellum with us.
Thank you.
Any question? Yes, so were you a singer, performer, or were you a?
Oh,
what did
no,
you-
no,
what did
I'm
you
a professional listener.
Listener.
Yeah. But I collect, all kinds of stuff on Dallas, and the history of Dallas, and people who made Dallas, and the Dallas influence on the world.
Right. And
We-
you grew up here?
Yes, my family came to Dallas in 1847, and we're the oldest black family in Dallas.
Wow.
And, I saw Dallas come a long ways, but it still has a long ways to come.
And we have time for one more question because we have to get out of here.
You don't have to go home, you can stay here.
Yeah.
We are
So
closing at-
anybody, one last burning question before we tear it down?
No more questions?
Thanks.
Thank you so much.